Three altcoins that could get a major price boost from the FIFA World Cup 2022. Polkadot active accounts numbers jump by 300% in 2 weeks. Huobi becomes latest crypto exchange to disclose proof of reserves. We take a look at Cosmos Hub's Atom 2.0 proposal and why that was rejected, and Yuga Lab acquires Beeple's 10KTF, names him advisor. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Assets of Value podcast. Today, on November the 15th, and every day, we connect to give an industry insider's perspective on crypto, Web3, and NFT topics. We are the founders of Assets of Value, a Web3 research organization. Our podcast is not to be taken as legal or financial advice. Let's dive straight into it. Abe, what are the markets looking like today?
Hi Schwab. Bitcoin is trading around 16.8k, which is the same level as yesterday. And we are seeing increasing minor deposits to exchanges and increasing whale withdrawals from exchanges. So I'm guessing these two major indicators are cancelling each other. That's why the Bitcoin price is so stable, so smooth these days. Yes, we had a downtrend. Yes, we had a minor collapse of the funding rates. And I think this is part of the game. It has historically occurred with every high negative funding rates that marks the bottom, like exact bottom of the market. So if you believe in the fundamentals and history, I think Bitcoin has bottomed out already.
Wow, that's a huge statement to make. Just tell us quickly on funding rates. Are these rates provided by exchanges giving us an early indication of how much they are positioning themselves in offering future contracts, or how does it work?
Yeah, I'll tell you a small thing about the funding rates. So funding rates are basically an exchange of value taking place between traders, and whenever the long traders are dominant, they pay a small fee as a funding rate to short traders and vice versa. So this is what's happening in crypto. Now the funding rate is so negative and it broke the 2016 drop. Like in 2016, there was a major drop in Bitcoin. Bitcoin fell from around $900 to around $400. That's more than a 50% drop. And in 2020 March, I remember it was the COVID crash, and that printed a zero point 0.2 funding rate. 0.2 funding rate essentially means around 2% funding rate, right? So that's a pretty big number to me. And after that, we are seeing the second largest funding rate drop in the history of Bitcoin. And that happened 2 days ago. And even the Luna crash or 3AC collapse, all these things couldn't trigger a funding rate collapse like this. And I believe that this was supposed to happen so that people will see the merits of non-custodial wallets and the merits of holding your own keys. So that's important. And secondly, we are seeing a much more diverse Bitcoin ecosystem right now. Bitcoin holders has hit an all-time high in number, and these are pretty good numbers and pretty good metrics.
That's fabulous to hear. So actually, we've got some fundamental reasoning to say that the bottom could be in rather than speculation. So that's fabulous. Going to try and avoid speaking about FTX. That's taken out much of the headlines in the whole of the crypto space in the last few days or week or so, and rightly so. With the World Cup fast approaching, kicking off this Sunday, let's have a quick discussion on some of the altcoins that could get a major boost. Algorand, definitely. We think that's the lead sponsor. But what are your thoughts on any others and Algorand itself?
So apart from Algorand, I think Chiliz, the token CHZ, can have a price action like a fairly good ROI in the wake of this World Cup, because Chiliz is a sports-based blockchain and it serves most of these fan tokens. And coming to that, fan tokens can be having a blast in the bear market because of this football momentum and everything. And thirdly, I think we don't necessarily say that we jump, but World Cup Inu, that's a meme coin, but still, maybe it can have some narratives, but I don't recommend investing in it. I don't recommend investing in any of these above coins. So there you have it. But I believe that CHZ can have a nice price action, and I'm personally investing in CHZ.
Non-financial advice, of course. So three altcoins that could have a bit of a price pump in the up-and-coming World Cup. So you've got Algorand Chilis with CHZ as a ticker, and World Cup Inu WCI. So with a lot of these crypto participants getting behind a meme coin, why not? However, please do not take this as investment or financial advice, and do have a calculated and responsible attitude to investing in crypto. Moving on to Polkadot, we're seeing active accounts numbers jump up by 300% in 2 weeks. Polkadot seems like a sleeping giant. They seem to be locked away in the basement, working on their parachains and their partnerships in between each other. What's actually going on in the Polkadot space?
Actually, some weeks before, Near saw a similar increase in its wallet users and number of unique users. So I don't necessarily think that this is specific to Polkadot, but it's happening all over the blockchain space. And that's because people are beginning to doubt their centralized exchanges, and they are returning to the old ways, the old good ways of Satoshi, that hold your keys, hold your coins, and they won't be hacked. I think that's what's happening in the Polkadot space right now, because Polkadot, as you know, has a lot of parachains, and these parachains create a lot of accounts also. And even activating just a mere Polkadot account can activate another 16 parachains, and this has a ripple effect, right? But we don't see the same thing reflecting in Polkadot price action. I know that Polkadot was resilient amidst the Bitcoin crash, but still it's not performing also. So I'm bullish on Polkadot in the long term, but not extremely bullish on it because it's a high cap coin and it can maybe go back to its all time high or maybe perform even better. I'm invested in Polkadot and I see it'll have a nice run in the next bull market.
Yeah, you mentioned a great point there in around the active user wallets and then having a ripple effect because it's all kind of contained in an ecosystem. So the numbers can be easily skewed in that regard. I'm just trying to think to myself, what is the Polkadot wallet? Is it Polka JS?
Yeah, polkadot.js.org. It's a little tricky to operate, but you'll come around. It's the most complicated wallet system that's ever existed, but that makes it extremely safe also.
Yeah, I mean, it does make onboarding difficult, but they are working on the whole ecosystem. So when Polkadot is ready to run, it could be certainly a layer one blockchain to look out for. And as you rightly said as well, in terms of price action in the latest Bitcoin price drop, we didn't see Polkadot being affected that much. I mean, it's already at just around $5, between $5 and $6. How much more could it fall? I'm not entirely sure. But then we saw other layer one blockchains like Atom that's holding its ground really well. Speaking of Atom, they've recently had Atom 2.0 proposal rejected. This has come as a surprise because many thought that this was going to be a certainty. I'm definitely surprised that the proposal has been rejected. What's your opinion on this?
Well, I'm also a little surprised because I voted in favor of the proposal. I don't necessarily think that the community is turning against Atom 2.0 because it's what the community is waiting for. And in order to answer that question, you have to consider what exactly is Atom 2.0. So there's two aspects to 2.0. One is that increase the issuance of Atom tokens in a high manner, like may increase at least 20% of the supply in just 1 month, and then gradually decreasing it over the next 3 years, and then arriving at an inflation rate of 1%, just 1%. That's the first part of the Atom 2.0 proposal. The second part, obviously, interchain security. The community is against increasing the Atom issuance suddenly because it will lead to a supply demand problem and the prices can fall like very deep. And currently, most of these Atom holders are staked, and when the issuance happens, they cannot even do anything, right? They cannot even sell their Atom because it's locked for 21 days. And this thing can upset a lot of community members. And founder of Cosmos, Ethan Beckman, he said that he understands that the proposal was not perfect. It has its loopholes, and he's trying to create a new proposal. And I think it will be pretty bullish on Atom because now we understand that the community really cares. It cares how many Atom will be issued and what will be the price action for Atom. I think this is more bullish for Atom than ever because you see atom price hasn't been affected by this negative news. It might seem negative, but it's not so negative. Now you understand, right? And atom price has been hovering around 10, 11 region, and still when I checked the last time it was still around $10.5. All good for atom.
It seems like I think the split was around 43 versus 37 with a non-veto. But all in all, it's great to see that much engagement, and it's also great that the participants are taking ownership and really trying to get the best out of Atom as an ecosystem and as a layer one blockchain. I'm interested to see where it goes from here and what the kind of next milestone will be within that ecosystem. One to watch out for, certainly.
But sure, what's cooking in the NFT space? We have talked about crypto for a long time. What's cooking in the NFT space?
So recently, the biggest news has just come out yesterday with Yuga Labs acquiring 10k TF. So this is a major piece of news because 10k TF was quickly becoming a digital storefront where holders from top NFT collections such as Bored Ape Yacht Club, Cool Cats, Moonbirds can mint and collect one-of-a-kind NFTs featuring their digital avatar on digital wearables. So as if a craftsmanship or a craft shop was set up by a project team called 10KTF, all characterized by a character known as Wagami Sun. He's the kind of shopkeeper, and holders of these various different collections can collect NFTs and materials to then craft one of a kind NFTs. This has been extremely popular amongst these kind of blue chip collections, and it's also brought in communities that were disjointed all into a central place. So a avatar or a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT can be superimposed on a pair of Nike high top trainers, or a blank backpack can now have the said NFT crafted onto it. It's pretty cool things that they're doing both on a technology front as well as a creative front. The fact that Yuga Labs has actually acquired this and then taken Beeple as an advisor is extremely bullish for the NFT economy. If anyone is going to have a long lasting presence, you can bet that's going to be Yuga Labs. The fact that they've got other deeds as well, they seem to be setting themselves up and creating an ecosystem with all of the necessary players to be a really blue chip ecosystem in itself. Having said that, in terms of sentiment of holders, there's a lot of talk that Yuga Labs are potentially not moving fast enough. But as we know, that NFT participant seems to feel as if there should be an update every other day. But when you're delivering projects and creating projects, that's not necessarily the case. I think someone had calculated it was 70 odd days since the last Yuga Lab tweet from the other side account. It just goes to show the kind of fan base and fandom around this. And there's a bit of a sour taste left with other D attracting such a high mint price back a few months ago when it was launched, as well as extortionate gas prices. I think the floor price right now on another deed is under 1 ETH. That is unimaginable. We had people paying thousands in gas feeds and multiple ETHs in terms of acquiring it. So in terms of Yuga Labs and its sentiment, it's probably quite low at the moment. But in terms of betting on a project team that is going to be here for the long run, you can certainly bet Yuga Labs is the one. So yeah, interesting developments in the NFT space there. But generally, what we're seeing is a downturn inactivity. Certainly with the ongoings in the crypto space at the moment, the NFT market has taken a drastic hit. You're also looking at BendDAO, the DAO that offers liquidity against NFTs. Many Bored Ape Yacht Club borrow or lend their NFTs and then borrow against that. They have seemed to be reselling or putting on Bored Ape Yacht Clubs onto the market, thus reducing the floor price. So yeah, it's testing times for the NFT marketplace, but then so is the rest of crypto. I think it's a little bit amplified within the NFT ecosystem. It just seems that there's a lot less players and a lot less liquidity around this.
I definitely agree. For those who doesn't understand Yuga Labs, it's a creator of Board Ape Yacht Club, and it's one of the blue chip collections in the Ethereum NFT space. And I definitely agree, Shab. This space is getting more mature as we speak. And I was thinking, why don't we come up with three projects I'm buying, like three coins I'm buying, and three NFTs you are buying for tomorrow. It will be a treat for our users.
That's certainly one that we could be sharing. Yeah, why not? Alpha right here, right on the show. We could be giving some value back. If it's definitely not ones that we're buying, it will be definitely things that we are certainly looking into. Obviously, we can advise on projects, collections that we feel are showing some good uplift, volume, or sentiment in the space in itself. Let's do that. That's a great one. This has been super fun. I'm glad you were able to jam with us today. That's it. Until next time, thank you everybody, and we're signing off.